Hello everyone, it's Vicky here today and I am joining in with the Hip Kit Club Cyber Monday YouTube hop, all details of which you will be able to find below this video. And I'm scrap lifting that layout you just saw there from Nikki Rowland. I really like the way she made a giant rosette in the middle of her page, so I wanted to give that a go. So I cheated and watched her video, so this isn't my design, this is completely hers. I cut four 5-inch strips of the same paper, and I have two pieces of this paper. You can't obviously do that with one sheet, but so I cut the strips at 5 inches, and then I'm doing scores at every ½ inch on this side and every ½ inch on the other side in between. So effectively there's a score at every ¼ inch on here, and the reason I do them on both sides is just so that they bend each way naturally, because the next thing that I'm going to do is to concertina it. So I skipped through that because it was a long process, and now you'll see I'm just folding it backward and forward just to do a concertina with it, and having the scores the different ways just makes that a little bit easier. And I'm also going to skip through this because you probably don't want to watch this. It gets harder as you get towards the end. Because they're small strips, it really starts to get tight. So my fingers were aching at the end of that. So there you go. I've done that with all four now, and I'm going to glue gun them together just because Nikki did, but also because it just will make it stronger, and it might not stay if I just use regular glue. So I did burn myself slightly while I was using the glue gun. I should not be trusted, but yeah, I decided to use it, and there you go. So excuse my messy hair there. Okay, so here we go. All four pieces go together, and then I'm going to glue it into a circle. So just like that. And next comes the fun part. First of all, I'm going to cut out a couple of circles from matching paper just so that I can use them to keep it together. And this is the fun bit. So I'm going to flatten it down so that it creates a circle. And then you've got to try and pull it together whilst using a glue gun, whilst sticking on a piece of paper. So this is where I burned myself a little bit on my finger, my index finger, trying to do this, but it's not too bad. It's cleared up already. It just was a little burn. It's a little bit sore for a couple of hours. So yeah, see, that didn't work. It's because I put the glue gun onto the paper. I should have put it onto the zigzags, and I didn't, but this time I have, and it helps a little bit. Okay, I just sucked on that burnt bit on my finger. Poor me. So this time I put it onto the zigzags, and it sticks much better this time, and much quicker. Okay, so that's how it looks. It looks cute, right? I like it. So I'm going to stick it down to the page with the glue gun. I also like the other side. I think that turned out quite sweet. But anyway, I want to use this blue dotty side, and I'm sticking that down to the paper. So the next thing you'll see is I come back on another day because I went to use my silhouette and my blade was blunt, so I had to order one. I didn't have a spare one. So this is a completely different day. I have cut this cut file, which is an exclusive for Hip Kit, on my silhouette twice. Once onto white cardstock, just plain white cardstock, and the second time on this pinky paper from the kits. What I've used here is the October kits, by the way. So there we go. So home is the sweetest place. So my idea is to use the pink for the innards of the letters and for sweetest, and have the white around it. So I'm just assembling that to see what that looks like there. And I'm happy with that. I think it looks nice with my photo and nice against the blue. So, okay, so Nikki's got some tags and houses on her layout that I'm scrap lifting, and I thought that I would do something similar. So So this really is a true scrap lift. As soon as I saw her layout, I wanted to try out this rosette, and I'm glad I did, because it was really fun, and I'll definitely do this again. I think it would look good in a frame on the wall. So okay, so I've got a couple of frames. That little dog looks just like the little dog that my niece has with her. So they're a different colour, but similar breed. So I thought that was sweet. And these houses are Jen Hadfield, the Avenue collection. So I'm just going to put in a few of those. They've got a sort of a perforated edge where they're together, and I was just trimming off that when I took them apart. Okay, that's sort of how this is going to come out. I take a bumblebee and cut that out. I just like bumblebees, so I couldn't resist putting that onto my layout. That's just in the die cuts from Jen Hadfield, the Avenue collection. And what am I doing now? I'm going to get a little butterfly. So I'm going to do the same with the butterfly. I'm going to cut that out as well, and that's just got a bit of gold in, which I think is really pretty. So and there's a little bit of gold on that house, that's currently on the right, on the door, and there's a little bit on the dog, I guess, as well. Although I don't use that dog, I use a different one in the end, but that's what I was trying to pull in there. So now what I'm going to do is stick this down. So I stick the white directly to the rosette, and I'll just skip through that glue process, because it took me a while to put the glue on all the way over. So stick that directly on, just with some wet glue, and then I'm going to put the pieces of pink onto foam pads. Not the word Sweetest, but all the pieces that go in between the letters. So I've just got some little foam dots here, and I'm going to use those for each of those letters. And again, in a little second, I will skip through that for you. That took a little while actually, but I think it was worth it. There we go. So I'm just finishing up here. I stick Sweetest down flat, and I leave a bit of white around it just so it looks like a shadow. Well, a reverse shadow, I guess, if it's white. And I'm just sticking down the for home is the sweetest place. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That looks really sweet. So now I'm going to start layering at the top again. My photo, my tags, and my florals and houses. So that's all going to go onto there. I'm going to play with that a few times before I completely get it right. I'm just not sure about that dog. I think he just doesn't sit quite right there. But I really want to use him because he's just right. But I find another one in the sticker sheet in a moment, so that's good. So I'm going to punch the holes into the top of my tags because I'm going to put some twine in those shortly. Just starting to think about sticking things in a moment. Excuse me. Okay, what am I doing? Here we go, finding some twine. I've got pale pink, which looks quite nice with the title, and I'm just going to put those into the tags. I'm just going to leave them loose there at the top. There we go. So a couple of tags. Now I decide, and I'm going to cut through this as well, I decide to cut round all of those houses that I've put to the side of the photo. I just felt like they had a little bit too much white space on them. So I just cut to a much thinner border. Trying to fiddle around with that dog again. You can tell I'm not really happy with it because I keep trying to move it. But I'm still persisting at the moment. Okay. So I'm thinking about sticking things down now. So I'm going to pick up the tags together so that I don't move them and they just stick down together. And I'm going to stick the photo onto them. Just directly onto the tags. And that little frame there is going to pop in. I'm going to stick the tags and the photo down now to the page because that's definitely where they're going. And then I'm going to assemble my little houses and get those sticking, and I just move them around a little bit, but there we go. And my florals are going to go up there at the top of the photo. Okay, so here we go, sticking down. More wet glue just to make sure it sticks on. That's Scotch tacky glue, in case you wonder, in my fine liner bottle. Yeah, there we go. That's the houses stuck down. Little butterfly and the bee stuck down. And this is where I haven't stuck the dog yet because I'm still not 100% sure what I'm doing with him. So I'm looking through the sticker sheet. I think about some more florals, change my mind on that because I think that it doesn't need it. And then I spot the dog. There he is. There's a sticker of a dog sitting more upright and it fits so much better in that space. So I just put it onto some paper and cut it out so that I can pop it off the page like a die cut. There we go, and he looks much cuter there. So a little bit of foam dots. Well, I say he, the dog in the picture is a she, Bella, so maybe this little dog is also a she. There we go. Home is the sweetest place. That fits perfectly in there. I couldn't have asked for a better fit. So I was really pleased to find that. And then I just pull out some little florals to add here at the bottom. So I've got one in the middle of the O for home, and I'm going to put one there by the T. And I'm going to foam dot the one on the O so it sticks up a little, and then I'm going to put the T, the one on the T flat. I think about moving it around a bit, but I like it best there by the T. And I think that is the final layout. There we go. There it is in its final finished state. I hope it's given you some inspiration. Don't forget the cut files are there. Always go check them out. This is from a couple months ago, I think. So yeah, there's some close-ups there for you to have a little look at. And upcoming is a graphic about the cyber crop, and it tells you what's happening. The cyber sale, sorry. It's all day today, and there's lots of discounts. Go check it out. This has been Vicky for Hip Kit Club. Bye bye.